riding down in the multi-cab going to the fencing project because we are carrying the rebar that is formed for the beams here and all the rebars for the columns extension. So you can see that we are driving down nicely, trying to run over the any mounds to flatten it down. Go. So this is Ili, the wife of Willie, and it's her birthday today, so we're having lunch. This is her pet native chickens that she has here. And so he's inviting me over. And you know guess who snubs the party? It's the Loy, because he don't like the food so cold. So you can see that the dark clouds looming up again. It might rain again. But luckily, it's now 4 o'clock. 5 to 4 o'clock. 5 minutes to 4. And we haven't rained so hard yet. Like yesterday, about 3 o'clock, it's already raining. So it's quite good today. Not as bad as yesterday. So the boys are here. You can see the cut-off machine that for cutting off rebars, and while they're shaping the columns and the beams. Para litos kuan, because he's come here. Just a car just pulled over inside my property and then looking for the owner, and all the while they're selling you tarpaulin. People from Thailand, tarpaulin, the so-called fireproof. We don't need fireproof tarpaulin. We need waterproof, not fireproof. 7,000 a piece. Diyos ko.
Makakista sa Shopee. 199 lang.
And Junel was saying, then you show it in, you will see that kind of tarpaulin in Shopee is only 199, 200 pesos, and they're selling it here for 7,000. So I said, anyone that come here that I don't tell them who they are, just tell them that the owner is not here. So they have here the 35 kilo sack of corn grits, white corn grits, number 16. Oh, so that's 1,350? 30. 1,330. So Daloy wants to buy fish. So Jurel is still working on the garden area. He's making it prettier than it was, which is really pleasant to see. Before we start he's transferring all the plants that we can save, but you can already see what's gonna be. So 2 meters from the wall, and each column will have a column across, so the reciprocal column on the other side. So that will be my next storage area, but he's done a good job on this one because he's replanting it to the sizes of the stump, what is best to be seen. Now he's transferring all these flowering bulbs that I only started with 2, and it's so many now. But they come in different colors before, but now they're only become red. But when I bought it before, it's white, blue, white, pink, red, yellow. So look at the space that we have here. So you can see what it's gonna look like with a storeroom will be on 2 meters from the wall, and we're gonna go build higher so avoid all this splattering from the wall. So I'll have a flooring first before I file the blocks. And the dog seems to be at peace with Gerald because they are the kind of dogs that won't leave the person alone, the stranger alone. But they just seems to be not agitated with him around. Because you have to remember, these dogs haven't seen anyone. They were born here. They only live here. So anyone new, they go wild. But they seem to be not bothered with him around. So that's a good job done. Like, my orchids are now looking better that they're out. So I'm gonna check now with the boys there what they have done, because we're gonna operate on the slope one road first before we do extend it on the wall on the other side. Today is August 19, Wednesday. We're still on the gloomy day, but hopefully it's just gonna be like this all day. So yesterday my video was answered by Old B. Now you can notice that there's a difference on my videos because he is now the one editing, and you can see our sense of humor. We are often sarcastic to one another, and we just have a good laugh. Most of the time we are sarky to one another, but that's part of the fun. That's one of the secret of being married for too long. Being married for too long. Being married for too long, 23 years, but we do have a good laugh, in which most of those people that got been living with their wives or spouses rather, and partners for so long know those kind of things, that as long as you can have a good laugh and enjoy each other's company and still have the respect there, that's one of the essential thing for a strong relationship. Now I'm walking towards my fencing project, and as you can see here, the ground is wet. So there was a big rain this morning, and the leaves have all water on the top. So there is something that this rain has done. Look at all the vegetation growing so much, but sometimes it's when you're working in open field, it's just annoying. So here I am now on my fencing project, and these are my sisters. What do they want? I'll just turn it off. So I'm walking through. The ground hasn't really been so soft for the rain that this had this morning, so you can see all the puddles there. So it must have been a hard rain this morning. So the lads are here. I have just met Junel down there in the road, that he's picking up some more rebars. But you can see that they're filing the top of the wall that we have left yesterday on the rain. So they are now on the last level. So hopefully they will be able to do the in-between columns as well this afternoon before the rain will start again. But it seems to be, as like I said yesterday, we're always hoping that it's not gonna rain. Hoping it's not gonna rain, but it's just rain. Rain just come and laugh at us. And also what I said about I like walls because walls make good neighbors doesn't mean that there's someone that comments that if all your neighbors are good, why do you make walls? I said walls make good neighbors, not the neighbors are all good, because anywhere else in the world, not all neighbors are good. It's not limited to here. But it's me. I like walls because walls make good neighbors. So you can see that Farmer Willie is continuously clearing out JT's lot. He's done a good job on that now. He's already out of JT's lot. He's onto my next plot, which I will be retaining, because I will be retaining this one here as well. And also here on the other side, outside of JT's lot, I'll be retaining 3 that I will be building a guest house to rent out, a kubo maybe to rent out, or for my subscribers to rent out, because I don't want it to be like a commercial renting out. Then so many people come here and it's making the place noisy, which I hate. So here we are on our build, and they will be doing the in-between column soon. So they're just taking it off from yesterday. So much rain. So that will be the last panels, line here. So you can see here that Farmer Willie is now nearing on the side here, and it is very muddy. He said, look, it's so sticky. So you can see that he's right on the edge of JT's property now, and he's entering my plot and then on the way to the Turners. But the important thing that he has cleared JT's plot, and also clearing out all the rubbish that we have here on this side of the road, on the slope part. And I didn't realize that it's not really that slopey when all the rubbish are gone. So I'm redesigning my curve of the road here on the slanting road, to make it faster that we do. I'll just build a curve, and it's not needed to have a rip-wrap anymore, nor a retaining wall, because it's only like a slight build up. It's not really that high. And like I said, I'm gonna make a terrace type here, kind of gardens. And so what I'm planning to do is to put a curb in both sides of the road. I will be doing that first before we do any wall on the other side, because the neighbor on the other side is not a problem neighbor, only on this side that they keep on to stop all the rubbish throwing. That's why we have to put the walls on this side first. But since the other neighbor here is not even living there, and nobody, the other owner there as well, is not living there, so I'll be concentrating on the slopeness of the road first to prevent all the erosion, and also then I could have a better like drainage as well, because what I plan to do is from the budget bungalow that will be a bit higher towards the road on the front. That will be the drainage. I will be like slightly sloping towards the road on the front, and from that also sloping here on this road. Then that will be where the it will connect to my drainage, because I want all the drainage done as well in the same time that I'm doing the road. So old Lito is now on his last line, and Junel is now building up the columns in between, straighten them up, put rings on it, so he can make forms and pour it this afternoon. Then there will be an end one there near the turners, just to strengthen the column there when we pour it. So now it's getting better. So they are now measuring the distance, so they can, for these 4 panels, they can put the beam on top while they are still here, because I said that's already the height of it. So it makes them like, if they're gonna pour the columns in between, they can also pour the beam. Then after that, someone can, when it's dried up, then someone can do the rendering when the beam is already there to make it neater. So this is the area where I plan that it's gonna be where this end will be higher, so the road will be sloping towards the main road from this side, and then on this side here will be the one sloping down towards my drainage down there. Now I want to make like a curve on the road, so now that I know the slope here on the side is not really that bad when all the rubbish was taken off, so a curb with like 2 foot down, and then 2 foot down, 8 inches wide, and then the rebars will start to get ready. I mean, rebars for the road making. Then I don't need to build a retaining wall. I realized that it's better that it's cleaned up, so I could make a curve 8 inches wide, and then the rebars from the other side as well of the curb will hold on together. So that's what I'm planning to do, and then the drainage will be on the bottom of the road of this one. But this is the point where it's gonna be like just there's a slight difference that it will be higher, and the road will have a filling, so it will be more inclined towards the main road, so the rainwater will be going there. And then on this one will be going to the drain that I'm gonna build on the bottom of this sloping road. So a curb will just be the solution that I'm looking at now. Now in order to get the 5-meter wide road from here, I think I'll have to build 2 panels of the wall here first before I have to start my curve and do the filling on it. So that's why I want the Lloyd to dig next is the 2 panels on this side before I start making provisions for the curve of the road. So because this is where the end of the crucial point where the road is gonna be a bit higher on this side, and of course the wall will be higher because I don't want to see all that. So, and then I could make provisions now to have the curb done, and then it won't be long for me then to cement all this road once I know that I could just slope it over towards the main road where all the rainwater will just flow down the road because of the natural slope of the main road, that it goes down to the rivers on the side. And also here I'll be putting a drain on the slope, and all the rainwater will be on the drain going towards the side of the hill. So that is now what I'm thinking is the drainage and the preparation for the road here. I will start on this sloping road first. So I'll get my plastic rope so the Lloyd I'll make a line so he can follow it. Otherwise we'll have the same problem like it was, that he's going inside or he's going out on the other side. So that is my plan for the road here. I'll start on this one here so I could, just because it's easily done when it's there on the front, because we will still be building the beams on the top of this one. I'm going back down to the fencing project. I'm just picking up some of this straw from my house so I could make a line for the Lloyd to follow on the next digging on the other side. Because before I build the curb, it will be better that I have 2 panels of the wall fencing built first before we do the curb. Anyway, this side of the property of mine is now a problem because, as you can see, the owner here has abandoned the building. So wait, my plans drop. What we're looking at there is my neighbor is making money out of his son's jeep, then carrying out neighbors' cargoes for a fee. But he don't own that vehicle. It's his son-in-law, or rather the partner of his daughter. So I'm here now, back here before we have a lunch break, because as of the moment we have an invitation from Farmer Willie's wife. She's having a birthday party, so she's cooking some of her chicken, native chicken, because it's her birthday. So we'll be celebrating her birthday in where the Lloyd's house, where the shop is. So we'll all be there having lunch. So this is our food, the corn rice, and then the native chicken. And what you see here is the blood of the chicken curdled, and it's a soup. Huy, sakto na, daily. Thank you, salamat.
Pagpaksi lang, ma'am.
Oo, ang magagpaksian ko ninyo, no, di na kumkaon noon. So this was what we had, is the corn rice and then the native chicken, cooked and steamed in whole and full of spices. So you can see we're all eating here, except the Loy. He got his funny ways when he's not the center of attention. He gets funny, but who cares? So he just got this one, got loads of chilies, and so Jonel is complaining about it's so hot. There's Jarell on the other side, and then there's Julito. Then Jonel moaning about the chilies. I'm going down with a multi-cab because I'm gonna buy some plywood and for the formation of the beam and the curve on that slope road. So I'm also gonna be buying the 12 mm rebar for the storeroom columns because it's inside my castle, because you know my columns there are minimum are 12 mm even though it's just a storeroom. But I have to go by a Snake Road, Mansawa Road. If you look at your maps, from Upper Tanay Road, there's a Mansawa Road, because I'm gonna have to stop by that fish place that I featured once. So you can see there's a little village here that we passed through, and this is the road. Well, it's not all cemented, it's broken. Okay, it's not all cemented now, it's cemented, and this is the property of the Garcia. The Governor Gwen Garcia's family owns this one that's been walled both sides. So between here it's not cemented as well. So you can see here that the road is so narrow, but this is just our second way to go up, and it's not fully cemented yet, but I know that this will be cemented in the long run because it's already been approved for being cemented. And as you know, there's a subdivision there not far from here that will be imposing that cementing of the roads, which is this one. So you can see that's Imperial Heights, the subdivision that's been pre-selling here. So they will be the one pushing for all the amenities, electric, although they have electric here, cables for TV, cables for internet, and water connections. So they have two way. They can go get down this way or go up where we are towards the Upper Tanay Road, where the road that you can see me walking every day. So you can see how narrow it is, and there's not a lot of illumination on the road on this side because these are the barangay roads. So you can see an electric post here, newly built one. Bago na, no? Newly built one, and another one here. So the electric posts are coming up. But it seems, what kind of electric post? It's similar like aluminum,
Oh,
aluminum electric posts. So these are the new electric posts here that means that we can put internet cables soon. It won't be long now. It comes to our place. It's already past the basketball court, which is this one. So that's good news to us. But also, anyway, the counselor that I talked to in Pulang Batu said that they also have been approved in the DPS, the Department of Public Service, that all the remaining illumination towards Tanay will now be approved for electric posts. So that will be good news to us. So you can see it's narrow and there's not a lot of people living here because these are still mostly farms. but there's a big transformer here, so they are improving the electric connections on this place. Because we're going up. So those are the farmers' houses. They got their farms in the middle of the mountain, and you can see it's sloping down, narrow roads. So what's with old B wants me to buy some samples of the filtration, or like K1 he called it. So I was wondering, why can't you have some gravel so I could get it for free in the river? Oh, I want K1. Jeez, I just have to find out where to source them by bulk. So I have to buy him some samples so I know which one he's gonna be choosing. So I'll have to find where is the source of this one, to be like the ones that's buying from China, wherever it come from, to the Philippines. If I have to order it in China, I will, because I know an importer from China. But why can't you just use gravel for that damn filtration? No, you have to get what I want. So here I am going to this road because of Old B. So we are now in the main road of Binaglio. So I've seen video this a while ago, and you can see that it's still like the Tanay Road, 5 meters wide, and you seldom see traffic in here because of course this is like the suburb roads. You can see Binaglio Elementary School on that side. So this used to be the main where the barangay hall was, but we are now passing through that. There is that, because we're gonna stop on this pet shop. Unahan na tayo na, buwakan tayo. So I'm here in our local fish shop. I have bought a sample of what's available. They have this things like this. I just want to get all the samples that she has, so Old B can select what she wants. Lain sa ni. Sige. Kani apila sa ni ma'am girl. This one as well. So I'll have one each of their filtration medium that is available. So kwentahan lang ma'am girl. So you can see I'm here on the fish shop of our local fish shops here in Binaglio. So they got their little guppies. So they have their little guppies that you can see. And hang on. So I have one bag each of the samples.
125 plus 75 plus 85 plus 50.
Pila tala ma'am girl?
335 lang.
So 335 for the sample of Old B's filter.
Pili lang ano niya.
Kuan ni ko ma'am.
Yes ma'am, uban ang later may siya na siya magkuan niya sinako. Inform lang sa taga.
Sige.
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 Basin sa maka-inquire sa kaglain.
Kay kung di ang ako my plan was to import na lang myself. Kaya akong naman ko'y friend nga importer of China.
Lagi kay daghan dito ko sinang lano.
Lagi? Because I got a friend that imports stuff from China. I could just consolidate, like you know me, I will consolidate it like I consolidate my Russian rebars before. So I'm leaving the fish shop now. You can see that's our barangay hall here in Binaglio. That building, and it's not finished yet. So we're here back to the road. And so I bought some sample of the medium for Old B to see what he wants. Then I'll find who's the supplier on it, or Where can I get it? Wholesale? Or if I have the ultimate will be to import it myself, consolidate import from China or whatever it's coming from. So like I got to find things, and if it's not possible, I'll get it. I won't say no. It's possible, because no is not a word that I often use. It's called I will get it, or I will find a way. So we are back here on our narrow roads. You can see our big river there for Binaglio. And these are all where most of the houses are congregated, because this is now nearing where the Cebu Golden Haven Memorial Park. So they like living up here because all the roads here are nice compared to further up. So the roads are better. So when roads are better, people are congregating. Here. So you see here, there's still a lot of people congregating, living together, because like there on the corner, that's Golden Haven Memorial Park. There's some burial happening because yeah, because there's but you can see not everyone was allowed to go inside the memorial park. Because it's limited of how many that you're allowed in. So it's really hard that, you know how Filipinos have a wake of over 10 days, some minimum 7 days a week for wake. Like when you die, you get displayed there, then people come, relatives, friends, and say their last goodbye. We call them like lamay or bilar in the Bisaya, lamay in Tagalog, and it's not allowed anymore. Like within 3 to 4 days, you need to have a burial. No longer long lamays or wake. Or in fact, if you are declared to be COVID, you'll have to be immediately buried in 2 days. So if you have the if a person died of a different disease, then you can have the minimum of 5 days. But if you are declared as COVID, immediately 2 to 3 days is the max of the lamay. And all your family, if you're declared COVID, will have to be swabbed and quarantined. So this is the new place of the condominium and townhouses there. But it's all closed right now, so I cannot feature them because of what's happening right now. But this is included with the property of the condominium. There you can see all the, and then you can see my castle up ahead on the mountain. Because I'm looking down at this condominium. So this is Riverdale subdivision. They have no internet there because they're in a valley. So that's my friend that lives there keep on complaining that they got no signal. And next there, the house that's pink and brown there, that's my house that I have sold to an Australian, the one I built the riprap from. No, I didn't live in that house. I just build it and sell it before I even finish building. Sold before I was finished building. I mean, there's some excavation for drainage there. So all of this is owned by Villar. So these are all Villar Corporation owns this land, except for the one on the front. Like I have where my place where I build the house, we're on the front, but behind us it's all Villar. And this is where the start of the Villar, because he's the one who's instrumental of making this road nicer because of all his properties there. There's Camellia Homes here. That's another Villar Corporation. And this one, he's instrumental of making the roads better. In fact, he is working together. I think 60% he paid for this one, his corporation, and then the government just subsidized it as well, add their share, because to give way to his project, Riverdale Subdivision, Golden Haven, that's all Villar, Camellia Homes. So he owns a lot of property here. But you are looking at here on the other side, left side, that's the Gaisano Corporation as well who owns that one. Another like 16 hectares of land. And then you see the new petrol station that I featured. Sorry, where we get our drink, our gasoline. I'm talking about drinks now. I need a drink. Sorry. And up ahead, you can see how they fix transformer or lights in here. Just side on the road, climbing. So we are now in Pittos, and you can see this is like urbanized. We've got loads of people living here than most of the mountain barangays, which is Binaglio, and even in Pulang Bato there's a lot of people living down there, but not on the hills, not so much on the hills where we are. But here, because it's near the city, that's where the jeepneys and buses stops. That's why you can see the congregation of houses, shanties, and all people that want to live near the city. So this is the Barangay Pittos Barangay Hall. That one on the left. Then you can see all the shops around Pittos from this side. The college, Asian College Technology, that's here. I'm here now in Gemini. I just bought 12 mm rebars. Then I'm looking at their plywood here to see what I could buy. This is the 1/4 plywood for our forms. Pila ang plywood ng ordinary 1/4?
380 ma'am.
380.
Kana mamay.
Taga-ikog na po. Nya, kada kay para Rodilla, I want kuan man kabo no? 10 pieces of the 1/4 plywood for the forms, you know, the beams that we have to create, because na po nya. Unsay ka na para sa Rodilla dong say baga-baga sunod sa 1/4.
1/2 among sunod ma'am.
Pila ang 1/2 gang?
Kana ordinary gyapon.
Oh, ordinary lang.
Kana ay 680.
Ang mahal uy.
Kana ay.
So this ordinary 1/2 is 680. Kada ding 316 mas dako ng 316 dong.
Di ma'am nipis na ma'am pero ang kuha na ang kanang ang nakamala na yang ang iyang kuan.
Ang
Ang iyang kanang brand ba.
mao ba kay unsa din na siya?
Amora Richmond din na.
Ang 316 pila gong
Ano nun, ma'am? 390.
390?
Oh,
316 ya kana
380 rin.
380?
Oh.
Usa lang ta kay para rin ta sa gamito na Rodilya ba? Para baga-baga siya gamay. Pero baga-baga ba ang 316 kaysa 1 port?
Pagka ang 1/4.
Oh, 316 nipis di ay.
Oh.
So 1 port is that's the one we gonna use. 1 port lang oy. Kadaghan baga kuno kay yung 1/2. Because the 1/2 is 690. Mo na siya?
680.
680. For when they start rendering, I need one like that so they don't keep on breaking apart. Mo ba siya angay sa rodilya dong?
Oh.
Para rodila? Kanang inig finishing ba?
Oh.
So when they render, they will use that as their like smoother, because this is the 1/4 here is for our forms. So that's the 1/2 ordinary plywood here in Gemini, that one that you're looking at. This is 680. The 1/4 ordinary plywood is 380. So 300 pesos difference. And apart from the marine, ang 1/4 marine pila?
450.
So 1/4 marine is 450, ordinary is 380. Ang 1/2 sa marine
780.
780. So that's the difference of the price so far. Ang 3/4 nga plywood ordinary.
Mail uno tinta.
So 3/4 plywood ordinary 1180. So 1180 nya ang marine niya lang.
1350.
So 1350 if it's 3/4 plywood marine. So I'm queuing here, waiting for my turn to buy the plywood. I just buy the rebars because it needs to be taken from their storeroom on the back, and the multi-cab has to go there. Tamaki pala. This one. Alcohol. You know what's this? Tamaki. Tamaki lang palihog means step on it please, and then on the bottom is called basa-basa pag may time. It's like read sometimes if you have time. I'll just waste their alcohol. So I'll have 10 1/4 plywood, and then or 4 be enough, and then 1 piece of 1/2 plywood ordinary for their ready for when they render. But I don't think we need it right now, so I don't want to stock on so many materials when I don't need it yet. So we are here in our local Gemini General Merchandise, where we usually buy our building materials that we're using in our build so far. And look, I bought 8 pieces 1/4 plywood at 380 each. And you can see that Arlene is also buying 3 cement for her pig pen and some wood. And I bought 12 mm rebars. Anara mo sa ibabaw sa plywood mo patong. So I bought also 12 mm at 199 pesos each for the column of my storeroom. Whereas the 10 mm and the cement, I always have it delivered there. That's 8. 1/4. 380.
Ma'am, okay na mama?
Sige dong. Salamat dong. 380. So, unsa pa? Asa tong kabilya nga resibo? Oh, thank you. So there's another sheet of thin sheet for her, the roof of her pig pen, and then the drainage. So asa atong galon para tubig dong?
Sino na? Okay, ma'am.
So they will just tie it up. While they're here, they have to buy the diesel for their machines on the farm. So they are tying it up.
Oh, yun muna nang. Hindi kami dapat tanong.
Oh.
Ayong. Okay lang sila. Oh, mura.
Mugawas na nga masaga. Arira na pirmi. Gihigtan na na dong. Because I know he's asking if we're going off. Like, it's so awkward if we're staying here, then we're just going out after we're all tied it all up. So seems like the refilling station beside us is not open yet. Because we also have the refilling station supposed to be here, but it seems like the refilling station is only open at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What kind of business is that? Pilang meter anak, ma'am? 55. 65 double? Double-sided insulation, 65 pesos per meter. Ibutang mo sa sinde, Erlin, ba para di kay init. So I said you put it in the top of your metal sheet so it won't be so hot if you don't have a ceiling. Kay mo dako pung kuno siya init because it reflects the heat. So they already buy their diesel. Ato lang tabalit sa kuantay, katong Australian dito ba? Tubig. Kaya alas 3 pa mga bli. So I'll just buy the water in the Australian refilling station. Pagaw sa midong.
Agagawas na.
Okay ra? So we're going off now. We have bought everything that we need. Except for the water, I'll just pick up the water in the OC water owned by this Australian because the Gemini is like 3 o'clock to open. Jeez. So it started to drizzle again. Need some grease for their machine. So there's an auto shop there, auto part shop to buy the grease. So we're going forward. We got everything that we need. So we're going to Pittos now, but I think we'll just have to stop in the katong OC water. 5 rabita na kagalon day. 5 lang. Ay, only got 5 gallon. Padung na ba kayan? Padung na Pittos. Oh. Pato bang dito ba? OC water. If they're not closed as well and open, they're only at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's always a busy day for me, but I enjoy it because I'm the sort that even if you talk to me, I'm doing something, you know, like my hands are doing something, like if not writing or sewing. Not really, no, but I like it. I'm just joking, but I like it busy, not like old B that he likes to be relaxed all the time. So I got a phone call. Who is this? Hello, ma'am girl. So OC water is not opening. They ran out of. They're not in operation. So I don't know what's happening. Whereas I know for a fact that water refilling station is such a good business because people are really buying water. Lagi. So they don't have their own supply of water because they're not been open for 3 days now. So what's the Australian do about it? Just leave it? Or perhaps he doesn't know that they are not operating. Because look how far is the next water refilling station. It's very far from here. And he's the only one that provides all that subdivision there. There's 3 small subdivision there beside where the water refilling station is. They always pass there. We are parked right here in a little restaurant. You can see what they're selling. Siomai, ninatang baboy, and then all of that there. So we have to go because they don't have the stuff that they need. Like for the corn. So we're now in Pittos proper. So there's a 10-wheeler on this side here, so we have to go right on the edge. And the 10-wheeler, namoy motor, is struggling to go through because there's a motorbike that's parked on the side. As you can see there, he could have been going straight forward. But because of the motorbike that's just parked there, he's struggling, while the cars here on the side is also hesitating to go through. Forward ta. I'm here right now in Pittos market, so you can see because Arlene wants to buy a sack of her corn, and then Eli as well, the wife of Willie. I'm here near the vegetable area, so you can see someone there segregating all the vegetables, and right in front of me are the prices of the different kind of rice. So you can see there's 42, 44, 46, and then Boracay rice 43, 47. Ivory is 46. I think the most expensive here is Ganador at 52 pesos per kilo. This is per kilo prices. So that's the different kind of rices. If you are buying by kilos. There, they're selecting the vegetable. Take out the rotten ones. And uy, nakoy daghan sa balay. Because Chelsea wants some apples. So Daloy is buying fish for dinner tonight. Unsa na siya? Bakasi. 100 pesos for that little crabs. Ang kanang lato pila? 80 pesos per kilo for those seaweeds. Ang octopus dong
Ini 140.
140.
Bisa?
Unsay mo paliton dong? Budburon? Pila? Pila dong? 130. He just wants half a kilo of the. Ang octopus 140. So Daloy is buying like the small tunas at 130 per kilo. He only buy half a kilo, just enough for himself. Nindot eh. So the Arlene is buying octopus 140 per kilo.
Tunga lang sa ako, are.
Nadi akong bag.
Bag, ha?
Mm.
Nawa ko. Kasi kung tawag, sagdain.
Sagdi. Bakasi. So that's Arden's buying octopus 140 per kilo. Kuangan pa gamay.
Para nito ko. Sakto na. Sakto din. Sakto din na. Mahalang ang ko. Mahalang ang
Kana sakto 1 kilo of octopus at 140 per kilo. Mutong palit kada ili?
Oh, tunga.
Half for Ili, the farmer Willie's wife, half a kilo octopus. This is what Daloy bought. The baby tuna or barilis, the 130 per kilo.
Mana yan, Darlene.
Oh, isa ka kilo. Ang budburon ni mo pila? That's that one budburon, we call it locally 120.
Ha? Sagwan for 160 lang.
Oh, one stinta 1/2 kilo octopus.
Ilang kilo niya?
130. Unsa ni tawagan niya? One barilis lagi. Baby tuna. And you can see, oh, yeah, 1 kilo, yeah. That's,
120.
ay mong gusto, yeah.
50 kilo.
50 pesos for the seaweed.
Ana din na siya basta kugkog.
Singan? Kubkub.
Kugkog sa panagas ba?
Oh.
Eh, pwede ka ba? Usay mo?
1 kilo yung mga? Tulo. Pila na siya?
Ayaw, laban na lang. Palam na.
Dara lang.
3/4.
Wala, sobra 850 grams.
We are looking at here, since we are stopping here in the water refilling station near us, at the new hardware store that we have here. And I asked most of the things that I'll be using: rebars, cement, plywood, nails, and it's very dear. Matters about 15 pesos to 20 pesos. It does matter when you're building. So I will stick with Gemini because they're giving me a better price in what I buy from them. So the boys are working here, only Junelle, because me, Deloy, and Julito was buying materials. So Junelle was shaping all the beam rebars and making the rings where Scammy is. So you can see the goat's cage there. The two kids are in there as well. But that is where Junelle bends all the rebars. So they will be taking it down to the village park to shape all the beams, because we can make the beams on that last end panels that they have made, because it's all just straight in there. And that's what I'm buying the plywood for. So these are the two beam rebars that on the top of those file that Junelle has made this afternoon. So we will be taking it down soon. It's just 4 o'clock, so they will still be able to set it up, tie it up, so it won't get stolen. So you can see how far is Farmer Willie have cleared out, and the ground is so sticky, and so he's throwing those mounds there on the side of the drop. But the work can't be so fast because the ground is so sticky with all the mud. And now it's again, rain is coming. So Junelle has arrived walking with the longest there. So they can just connect it there on top of the beam. Go to the columns first and then on top of the beam. So all of here, the in-between columns and the beam will be poured tomorrow. So that's the form of the beam that they're gonna go inside the column.
Tanawag asa isa loob ang kiri. Dire ba? Kari ba? Tanawag asa isa loob. Dara. Okay. Ako birahon. Ha? Birahon gamay. Sila. Okay. Ay nagtumpa pa. Sige. Ay sa, wala mo sud. Birahon niya ko.
Nice.
Hindi naman tumpag eh. Ilan lang tumpag.
They're gonna go put it inside those vertical extension from the file, so it will go in, so they can tie it up as well. Because we're gonna go inside the column, so when we pour the column, the beam is also holding onto the column. You see there, it will lie up on top. So you can see them tying the rebar form for the beam, because we will be pouring this beam and in between column together here on this end thing. And then we will make two panels on the other side, while Junelle will be shaping all the plywood on this one. So all the vertical beams that's showing up, they just bend it over and tie it up together with a rebar beam, so it will add more strength on it. In here, Farmer Willie is clearing out the mound in the mango tree. And luckily we don't have so much rain like it was yesterday when we were trying to pile the blocks. So the clouds are just so gloomy, but there's no rain, which is a lot better than sunny, but it's gonna be raining. So this is how far that he has done. You can see here all the piles of the clearing out that he has done. And look at where the mango tree is. It's now so clean. Nalimpyo na ni Will. Kasi you've done a good job. Oh, kaam. Pilinganan sa na diha. Lagi? Di man gyapon na matabang kay mo anod man gyud. Oh. Kay og magbutangan nag wall. Lagi nga naman to. Di nagikan. Aw. So he said he's clearing out that mound because it's where most of the rubbish that the Loy piled in there before, when he was the one clearing it out for 2 months and still only just around the mango tree. So look how clean it is now. Oldby was thinking of buying a grass trimmer, so it should not, when the grass starts growing, it should not be like bare to the ground again. Can be grass, but not those big tall shrubs or trees, small trees. So this is what we are so far for Wednesday, August 19. So here I am, just standing here under the mango tree of JT, and you can see that it's really clearing out here, and he's just taking out this mound to make it all neat and tidy. And you can see the boys up above there doing the beam rebars and that, and since the Loy don't know anything about that, just there clearing out the whatever he can clear in there. So that job is for Junel and Julito, because the Loy's job is only mixing muck. That's where he's good at. But you know, you can't get rid of him, because if I get rid of him, he might, you know, commit something else, you know. Because this is like his, like a job that he will never have a chance. But I don't plan to get rid of him. I'll just put up with us, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but that's everything the same anyway. But look what the clearing here is a lot better than it was before. And also in my garden, it's a lot better than it was before, when someone working on it that knows what he's doing. So good job done here. He's just throwing it there behind the drop here. Because most of it are weeds and plants and then some earth, so it can file here. And we will cut this tree that is blocking the view. Kani akong giingon nga putlo ni Will. Kinawa mag-alim siya sa view. Pero nya na lang lagi. He said that we will just cut it when we're whatever is the plan of JT. It's either to build up or to dig down. As of the moment, that one don't hurt. It holds the soil. Anyway, it can be all cleared when we're all ready. And also that one, that big stump there, and also on that corner triangle, we will be clearing it there as well. Over there. It started to drizzle again, but it's better to stay here under the mango tree than on there with the boys. So they managed to put all the rebars on the top of the port panel for the beam, and then now they're doing the column, extending it so it will connect to the beam. So you can see there the columns has been done, and the beam is connecting to the columns from the last 3 levels down. So that's what they're working on. Then tomorrow they'll be making the forms. So that's what they are so far for August 20, 2020, Wednesday. So Daloy has given me a mushroom here that he found on near the mango tree, because they believe here when there's a lot of thunder, that's when the mushroom starts growing. They know this species of mushroom is called uhong over here. And they have a few different species that they have some local names like quack dog, rat ears, and of course I said libgus. They got sort of mushrooms that they keep on saying about it. Only mushrooms only grows when there's is thunder season, which is right now is thunder season. And Junel was saying about unsa to katong musiga nga mushroom. So there's a mushroom that is luminous at night, like it lights up. Taingang daga. Quack dog, that's the luminous one that grows on trees and lights up at night. So I will have to look at when they found one, because it's mushroom season is thunder season, which is now June, July, August. Usually during typhoon season.